November the 20th is Transgender Remembrance Day, and I just wanted to give you a short insight into the world of trans from my perspective. It was 20 years ago when Trans Remembrance Day came into existence. It was founded by a lady called Gwendolyn Ann Smith, a passionate trans activist who started a small local memorial following the murder of Rita Hester, who was a trans woman back in 1998. Since then, it has become an internationally recognised day and is preceded by a fortnight of trans-related awareness campaigning throughout the globe. To quote Gwendolyn, Transgender Day of Remembrance seeks to highlight the losses we face due to anti-transgender bigotry and violence. I'm no stranger to the need to fight for our rights, and the right to simply exist is first and foremost. With so many seeking to erase transgender people, sometimes in the most brutal ways, it is vitally important that those we lose are remembered, and that we continue to fight for justice. Now, being a trans woman myself, I'm acutely aware of the issues and I'm fortunate not to have suffered any significant transphobic abuse. But the stats make for appalling reading. In Stonewall's 2018 trans report, amongst the most worrying stats, 2 in 5 transgender people and 3 in 10 non-binary people have experienced a hate crime in the last year, and 1 in 8 trans people have been physically assaulted in the workplace in the last year. It's no surprise then that the vast majority of trans people, myself included, alter our persona in certain ways so that we can fit in and participate in society with a view to drawing as little attention to ourselves as possible to avoid conflict or worse. Again, referring to Stonewall report, as many as a third of trans people have reported discrimination whilst going about their daily lives, everything from arguments over appropriate toilets to being put in the dark corner when enjoying a meal out. So what is the solution? I believe that there is a substantial lack of knowledge, both in the trans community and society at large, with regards to what it means to be trans. And the best way to resolve these internalised and societal norms, in my view, is to simply talk to one another. If life has taught me anything, it's that being your true, authentic self helps reduce personal stress and anxiety, which in turn leads to a much more enjoyable existence. I also believe that trans and non-binary people should have more courage to resist falling into the societal norms of what a woman or a man should be. And whilst I am a firm believer that there are 2 defined biological sexes, people have the right to lead their lives in their own image. I can remember coming out to the world over 10 years ago now, and true to form I lived up to those stereotypes back then, having long hair, wearing makeup, proper women's skirts, clothes, that sort of thing, increasing the pitch of my voice, etc. But I've come to realise that I was doing all of those things to fit in, and I never did those things for me. I mean, look at me here. I'm comfortable in my own skin and I no longer subscribe to the ideology of a binary world. I also believe that to some extent society has to unlearn what is traditionally thought of when we think of a man or a woman. In particular, we have to get more role models visible and from all walks of life, as this will help break the preformed man-woman image beset in the minds of everybody, and will empower all of us to pursue life with enthusiasm and happiness, without feeling like we're doing something wrong. You can help too by engaging with people from all walks of life. Go and grab a coffee with someone you don't know very well. Ask questions if you're curious about something. And just go about your business with a more open mind. I do want to finish though on a reflection on some sad truth. On the 18th of November this year, Forbes reported that 331 transgender or otherwise gender diverse people had been killed globally just this year. A truly shocking statistic, and I hope you'll join me in taking a minute to consider how to make the world a better place for everybody. I for one don't want my goddaughter here to grow up in a world which has become so polarised and hostile. Thanks very much for watching the video.